Hey everyone, it's Will here with Flow Trade Effects. I'm bringing you guys a new video in my self-study series. I just started this. It's really just a compilation of everything I've learned since starting trading in 2016. I've traded in all different markets. I've traded stocks, I've traded currencies. In the Forex market, I've traded cryptocurrencies. So I pretty much dabbled in a little bit of everything. Sat on the sidelines for a long time, just built up my knowledge and really just kind of waited until I was ready. And through that time, I definitely demo traded and lost several demo accounts before I actually put any of my real live money on the account. But, excuse me, through that process, I definitely learned some things. And overall, it helped shape me and help me find the type of trading personality that I have. Now, I come from a background of skateboarding, like naturally, as you could tell, like right there, there's a skateboard. Um, it's just a part of my life. I've been skating since I was 13 years old, and I'm 27 now, so quite a long time. And I do have a little dog, which you'll probably hear barking at something from time to time. But for people who know me, he's super chill overall. But for people online, my apologies if it gets annoying at times, but you may see him at times and you might see me doing different skateboarding stunts at times as well. It just kind of depends on, what I end up uploading on this. But I know you guys are here to watch this video and hear what I have to say about finding your personal trading style. And let's begin on that. So, I would say it's very important to kind of get an understanding of who you are as a person before thinking of who you are as a trader, because it's technically going to be about the same thing. If you're the type of person who's risk averse and you're not really okay with being in uncertain situations, then the market is not really going to be much different because you're always going to have to risk something and you never really know if the market's going to go your direction or not. So, you can kind of see how if you got a weak stomach and like in life, you're probably gonna have a weak stomach on the markets as well. And that's not to say like you don't develop that and you can't still work a strategy out with your current strengths and weaknesses. It just means that you have to understand more about the way that you form your relationship with the market as opposed to feeling like you need to fit to the market. You get what I'm saying? So you're not fitting to the market, you're fitting the market to you. And that's what you're going to be wanting to view, how you're going to be wanting to view things after the end of this video. At least that's how I hope you're able to view things. So I do have 5 questions. I'm going to pull them up right here real quick that will allow you to kind of self reflect a bit. And these 5 questions are going to be: first, how much time do you actually have to spend analyzing and finding market setups? Second, are you the type that needs to sit in front of your screen or can you walk away while you have a trade open? Third, what are your strengths and weaknesses as a person, as I just mentioned? It's very important. Fourth, what causes you to enter a position? And then fifth and not fifth and finally is what are your trading goals if you have any? Now, if you're new to trading, then some of these questions they might be like, what goals do I have? I don't even know what a trade is. And if you're sitting there wondering like, do I sit in front of my screen? Like I don't have an account. It's all good. We're gonna cover that in just a second. I'm not gonna make this video too long. It really doesn't need to be too long. Your answers are gonna kind of come from yourself. Now I would write these questions down, um, and then write your answers down as well, and then be able to put these in like a safe place, like whether it's digital, you're keeping them on your phone, or if you have a notebook that you write them down with pen and paper, like keep that somewhere so that like on this journey you'll be able to reference something. You'll be able to look back and be like, okay, where was my mind at this time? Like, what was I thinking? Like, where was I like expecting to be going? because that's going to play into this as well. As I just asked, like, as I just mentioned, like one of the questions is going to ask, like, what are your trading goals? So just keep all these things in mind as you continue. But first, our first question was, how much time do you actually have, to spend analyzing and finding market setups? So with that, I would say you're gonna have to ask yourself, like, what is your timing? Like, timing is everything. Truly, I believe that timing is everything. For me, my biggest breakthrough with trading was after I realized how much time do I actually have to spend to trade. That was when I had my biggest breakthroughs. I realized what limitations I had with my schedules, with work, my responsibilities I have, any social obligations that I might have also occurred. I've definitely had to sit down and think about these things for myself. Now, for you, you might want to sit down and take a moment or two to like write that down, pause this video, write down your answer to this question real quick, and then we'll move on to the next one. Number two is, are you the type that needs to sit in front of your screen while you have the trade open? Or are you the type that can, just walk away? Now, for some people, it's going to be very hard, especially at first. At first, I think it's harder to walk away from your screen than it would be to just leave your screen open. Just because it's exciting. Trading is new and everything is exhilarating. You're kind of like amped up on your potential. Like you might be like, you know, you might have just been introduced by somebody or you might have seen something online that gets you really excited about trading. And that's great. You should use that as fuel and use it as motivation, but do it in a wise way, right? So when you are first starting out, it's okay. And as you develop, if you find out that you still are very involved in the market, that's okay. There's no right or wrong per se. It's mostly about what you do and what kind of style you have as a trader. Now, for some people, I can already tell you just two small examples is for one person that needs to sit in front of their screen. I can already tell you that they could probably better off be like doing day trading just because like if you're going to be in front of your screen all day, you're probably excited. You're probably like stimulated by the price movements, the ups and downs, the fluctuations. Like that probably gets you going, and you might even have an inclination to find something in that. And I would say develop a strategy around that because you could definitely find intraday strategies, you could find day trading strategies, or even swing trading strategies where you're able to take several trades in several different pairs or currencies or different markets in general and then be able to have those swing for you over the next several days. But if you are the type of person that doesn't really mind setting their trades and forgetting it, so to speak, then hey, like maybe a position trader is something that you could be into, you know, and it just kind of just really depends on you. There's no right or wrong as far as that goes. Now number three. Now, again, with number one, just as with number one, you might want to pause the video, write down your answer to that number two question, and then, move on to the next one. But number three is, what are your strengths and weaknesses as a person? Now, this is something that you're going to want to ask yourself. And you're going to want to say, like, okay, like, am I a patient person? Do I pride myself in being a patient person? That might be a strength. Like, are you a little bit antsy? Do you pride yourself do you want to be a calmer person? Then you might see being antsy as a weakness. So you might just put them down in that category. And then, etc. Like you kind of just go through the traits that you possess and kind of like think about them like a little bit critically. Now, I know it's kind of be hard to think like, okay, what is a strength and what is a weakness because somebody's strength might be someone else's weakness. But don't think about it relative to other people necessarily. Think about it relative to yourself and your situation and where you like what would be more ideal. Like, do you have traits that allow you to make the best of your situation or your circumstances as they are? Do you find ways to constantly improve your situation and circumstances? That might be a strength. Do you have, you know, certain things that you feel like are limiting you? That might be a weakness. Do you feel like there's things that you would like to improve on, those things might go under your weakness side, you know. But at the end of the day, just identify them. You don't have to necessarily act on them. It's mostly the action will follow after you've identified what they are. Because your strengths you'll automatically want to play up, and your weaknesses you'll want to improve on. And that's just natural. But sometimes it's hard to identify where we're not completely up to par, or where we're weak or we're lacking in a certain area if we don't really, write it down and try to identify it. So that leads me to the next one. And again, as with the last few questions, pause the video, write down your answer, and then move on to the next one. So number 4 is going to be what causes you to enter a position. Now, you might not have ever entered a position before. As a trader, a new trader especially, excuse me, oh, as a new trader especially, you might be unfamiliar to trading. You might have only looked at charts in the past, and you might have only been like, okay, I'm not really sure what I'm looking at. But I do want to but I do encourage you to ask yourself one question and give yourself maybe a little bit of credit, because one thing I realized early on, especially when I was really new to trading and I didn't have my own specific strategy, whenever I would look at the market, I would find that I was always inclined to noticing like selling opportunities. Even if it was in hindsight, I would always identify a selling opportunity as something. Oh wow, I feel like I would have noticed that before I would have like identified myself with like, oh yeah, that's a buying signal that I would have seen. I would have like, for some people, like they would have been the opposite, but for me, it was completely like that. I was definitely one of those people who was like, okay, like I only want to sell. I'm okay with only selling. I don't need to buy. So for me, that took out like, shoot, half of the thinking that was involved with all of my trading. I'm only selling. So if it's not a selling opportunity, I don't want to sell. Like I'm not getting involved. So it was easy to find like an uptrend and be like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna stay out of this market. That everything looks like it's going up. But just kind of like realizing what would cause you to enter a position, or what might you find yourself kind of gazing at or looking at or noticing first, even if you are new to trading. Like, what kind of structure do you identify first? Like, what pops up to you first when you look at the market? That might help you identify what kind of trading style might suit you best. And then now I would say pause the video, write the answer to that one down. What causes you to enter a position, and then continue the video. And then last and finally, the fifth question is, what are your trading goals if you have any? Now, some people may not have any trading goals at the moment, and that's not, a bad thing. They just maybe haven't developed any trading goals specifically yet. Now, when it comes down to my earliest trading goals, I simply just wanted to acquire knowledge. So my first goal was to just acquire as much knowledge as I can in the first 3 months. Now, that to some people might not sound like a goal because it's not as specific. But when I first started trading, I didn't know anything about trading. So I couldn't tell you, yeah, let me just let me improve on my risk reward ratio, because I didn't know what a risk reward ratio was. Like, I didn't tell you I couldn't have told you what a drawdown was. So all these things are not areas specifically that I'm like able to benchmark or set and like track as a goal for myself. So your first few goals, they might not even be monetary goals. They might just be, you know, self-development goals. Your first goal might be answering each of these 5 questions and writing out the answer to these 5 questions. That is a simple goal that'll put you in the next phase. Once you have the answer to these questions, you'll be able to move on to pursue what type of trading style might fit your nature. So everything has a sequence, everything has a process, and everything should allow you to move forward and grow and develop everything we do. So that's pretty much what this is all about. And your goals should help you do that along the way as well. One of my goals was to start a trading community. now I'm doing that. Like I have this online trading community for Flow Trade Co. And I'm producing these videos so that other people can watch and also benefit from. And that was a goal of mine, you know. So just be specific and make sure your goals match the level that you're currently at. When I was still acquiring knowledge about how to trade, how to become profitable, it wouldn't have made sense for me to start a community to become profitable in because I didn't have any valuable information to provide to the community. But now I can provide that same level of value because I've acquired the knowledge. Now I can provide even more value to other people because I went through certain things. I went through trials and tribulations and the learning curve of becoming a profitable trader. But that pretty much wraps it up for our 5 list questions. I would say just go over it, pause the video for that last fifth question, write down your answer, go through these again, and save that little note that you took down and like use it as a little anchor. If you ever get lost along your journey, you could always come back and reference this video, but reference your specific answers because no one knows you like you. You might see yourself in what you wrote down, and it might just jog your memory of something that has been giving you trouble, or you might forget that, hey, your schedule changes and you got to figure out what time you have now to allot to trading. You know, if you previously had 7 hours and now you only got 3 hours, that's going to make a big difference in what type of trading opportunities you might be able to find. So, you know, it's super important that you want to keep this list, and it's important that you actually write out and put some thought into your answers because it's only going to help you in the long run with finding a trading style. And the faster you find a trading style that makes sense for you, the less that you'll be running in circles and the more that you'll be running towards your actual goals. You get what I'm saying? Now, if you actually like this video, I would suggest a thumbs up. And pretty much, if you like this video, I would suggest you thumbs up. If you do have any questions or statements, or you want to just reach out, comment below or shoot me a message. Either way, I'll be glad to hear from you guys. And if you do want to hear any more videos or get updates on anything else that might be going on as far as from this channel goes, subscribe for sure. And if you are in the Telegram group, then I'll be seeing you over there, and you'll definitely be staying updated on everything that we got going on over there. But if you do have any other questions or if there was any other methods that you use to find your trading style that I didn't include in this like list, or perhaps you had some other questions that you asked yourself, definitely include those in the comment section as well below. I appreciate you guys watching this video, and I pray that it was helpful. You guys stay healthy and stay positive and stay profitable. I'll be getting to y'all in a little bit. Peace.